Some battles are written in history books. Others are written in tire smoke. On one side, the Ford Mustang GT, an icon of American performance. On the other, the Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat, a beast that doesn't just roar, it threatens. Today, they face off, not just in speed, but in legacy, presence, and value. So, which one deserves your garage? Let's find out. Let's start with the raw numbers. Because in the world of muscle cars, numbers matter. The Ford Mustang GT brings 480 horsepower from its naturally aspirated 5.0-liter Coyote V8. 0 to 60, just over 4 seconds. A car that's fast enough to turn your morning coffee into a rear seat spill. The Hellcat? Well, Dodge clearly decided subtlety was overrated. 717 horsepower from a supercharged 6.2-liter Hemi V8. 0 to 60 in about 3.6 seconds. And that's if your tires can even hold on. To put that in perspective, that's more power than some Ferraris, for a fraction of the price. But hey, horsepower is like money. More is nice, but if you can't control it, it's just chaos. The Mustang's engine feels alive. Naturally aspirated means instant throttle response. And that V8 note is like an old-school rock concert. Loud, raw, unapologetic. It revs clean, feels balanced, and loves to be pushed. The Hellcat, on the other hand, is like unleashing a caged animal. The supercharger whine is addictive, and when the torque hits, it feels less like acceleration and more like being launched from a catapult. But here's the thing. Which one actually feels faster on the street? You might be surprised. Muscle cars have come a long way since the bare-bones interiors of the 60s. The Mustang's cabin is driver-focused, with a blend of retro touches and modern tech, digital instrument cluster, leather trim, and a driving position that feels snug without being cramped. The Hellcat? Bigger, bolder, and roomier. It's the muscle car you can actually daily drive without feeling like you're sitting in a go-kart. The seats are wide, comfortable, and ready for long cruises or quick sprints to the gas station, which you'll visit often. In fact, owning a Hellcat might make you best friends with your local fuel station cashier.
Looks are subjective, but intimidation isn't. The Mustang GT has a sharp, athletic profile. It's sleek with just the right amount of aggression. A car that says, "I'm fast," without screaming it. The Hellcat doesn't just scream, it shouts. Wide body stance, massive hood scoop, and a presence that turns heads from blocks away. Park it next to almost anything, and it's the Hellcat that steals the spotlight. But style isn't everything, because when it comes to value, things get interesting. The Mustang GT starts around $43,000, which in today's market is a bargain for the performance it delivers. Maintenance costs are reasonable. Fuel economy, well, acceptable for a V8. The Hellcat starts around $65,000 and can climb higher with options. Fuel economy, let's just say it's in the single digits if you have a heavy foot. But here's the twist. Because of its limited production and cult status, the Hellcat holds value extremely well. In fact, clean, low-mileage examples are already becoming collectibles. So, in a way, the Hellcat might be the only car that lets you burn rubber and build equity. If you want balanced performance, a modern yet classic feel, and a price that doesn't crush your wallet, the Mustang GT is your weapon. But if you want unapologetic power, head-turning presence, and the kind of torque that could shift tectonic plates, the Hellcat is king. Which one's better? That's like asking, would you rather be the fastest spreeper or the most feared heavyweight? Two legends, two philosophies. The Mustang GT and the Dodge Hellcat. Proof that muscle cars aren't just about transportation, they're about identity. Drop your pick in the comments. And before you go, check out my next video on the power of compounding, because whether it's building speed or building wealth, it's all about momentum. Click right here. I'll see you there.